Hey everybody, it's me, Truepowerismine, and this is a special report. Hold on 1 second. Welcome to the new studio. This is Studio D. Primarily, special report be filmed here. I got the aid of the big screen. Today I want to talk about, this lady right here. And I use the term lady as very loosely. You know, they call her BBQ Becky. BBQ Becky. You know, I call her just basically busybody. Busybody Becky. Should be doing something else, but people out here having fun, you know, doing their thing, and this clown rolls up. So let's continue the video here.
It seems like a new Jim Crow going on, because for some reason every time I see it, black people are the ones targeted regarding barbecuing at the lake. And you're a perfect example of it right now. It's two men sitting out here just chilling, and this whole setup is real clean. I don't see they don't have loud music. You want to call the police on them. You want to call the police on them for having a barbecue on a Sunday at the lake. Yes. I just looked at the map and it said this map is fine to barbecue. No, it's not. It does. It's not for charcoal. Not a cut. You did not just send it to
now.
Grill, but not a charcoal grill.
Let me pause this for 1 second. Now, you see how she's almost smiling here. She's getting off on fucking with people's good time. You got to be aware of this, folks. You know, there's so many people out here with these phones. Hello, I see somebody. They look suspicious. Let's continue.
What's the problem with Oakland today? This lady right here wants to sit here and call the police on them for having a barbecue at the lake as if this is not normal.
The cops should arrest this chick for harassment. Sloppy ass whore.
He's done nothing. He's been sitting there chilling the entire time. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure y'all feel a lot of pressure to not do anything in the first place, because as soon as anything happens, you know, it's like going to be somebody's fault, and it's not going to be her.
Hold on, I'm going to stop right here. You know, these folks, you notice how the people, they're being very calm, they're being very collective. You know, they're I have to give it to them. They're being excellent. You know, so if we notice, hold on, let me get to this part where I've noticed something that was peculiar with BBQ Becky. Now, by now the police officer should be here. Hold on. All right. Look at her crying, trying to get somebody shot.
Child, she did all of that for it. The police didn't arrest anybody, including her. But y'all do know the internet is ruthless. So they found out that her name is Dr. Jennifer Schultz of Stanford University.
Hold on. I want to show you something. This is something that I saw when I reviewed this video. I don't know why it's not playing here.
You're acting like a victim all of a sudden. You were trying to act all tough earlier. You've been harassing us. It doesn't matter.
Look at this.
I want the police to come.
Look at this fake.
Hours for them.
Stupid fucking.
Gold. This is total gold.
This is fucking retarded.
They usually call your cell phone when they are here to identify where you are.
I want to get somebody shot today for barbecuing. Miserable fucking whore.
Okay. You back up. Yes.
Hold on. I want to show just how trampy this little bitch is. Why? All right. Where's it at?
Can you just back up just a tad so I can talk to her? Thank you. Sure.
Oh, she's having a nervous breakdown. Is that it right there? Hold on. We're getting there. Bam. If you notice right here, she's wearing a G-string. This nasty fucking fuck went out here in public with fucking G-string on. I mean, granted, her pants are up, right on. But, you know, the whole point to this that pisses me off, if I was this police officer, if I was that guy right there, this hand would be off my waist against that fucking cheek up there, smacking the shit out of this stupid bitch for
Child,
fucking
she
ruining
did
it.
all of that for it. The police didn't arrest anybody, including her. But y'all do know the internet is ruthless. So they found out that her name is Dr. Jennifer Schultz of Stanford University, and she has her PhD in philosophy. And after she became a mean child, she went ahead and deleted her LinkedIn profile off the internet.
There it is, right there. That's what I want you guys to hear. This, hold on. I'm just gonna pop up another video so you see her face. All right, if we can move her along here. All right, here, stop. All right, this lady right there is a doctor. A doctor. How much harm has she done to people? How much harm has she done to people in her classroom? We can obviously see that she has something against black folks having fun. Honestly. Only thing they were doing out there is barbecuing and having a good time. This is what you're up against. You're up against people who have nothing but hate in their heart for you. You're up against people that claim to have the best notions and of fairness and equality. But when they don't think that we know who they are, they're out here doing this shady ass shit to people, which is bullshit. Now, there was also another story I want to touch on today on Special Report, and this is concerning survival. All right? This is concerning survival. Switzerland issues disaster plans for all citizens. Or Sweden, rather. Hold on. God, I need a whatchamacallit in here. Tech person. Sweden issue emergency war plans for all citizens. All right, here we go. I want you guys to pay attention to this. Don't forget, Sweden has always been known as a place of whatever. But I want you to see this. I'll read it. Sweden has issued a public information manual urging citizens to prepare. Hold on. I don't like this stupid ass music. Mute the stupid shit. Basically, this pamphlet up here, folks, the government of Sweden determined that it would be in their best interest to arm all their people with knowledge. So they sent out this pamphlet to all 4.8 million households in Sweden. All right. It talks about the situation in the Baltic states, talking about the reversal of the Cold War era policies. I want to bring this up because it's relevant, folks. While we're sitting around here talking about who's pissing in what fucking bathroom, or we're over here talking about fucking ancient history, or even, history that didn't happen too long ago, there's people out here who have a plan, and they are rolling with this plan. Okay? A lot of you guys seen the videos, obviously, the other morning show and other special reports. And you know that we have talked a lot about basically your security, basically your freedom, and basically your independence. Well, our government hasn't felt it necessary to give us this information. Okay? Please research that. Why is Sweden preparing their people for war, and we're still over here like a bunch of numbskulls doing whatever? Hold on. Oh my God, there was one, it's an American. Oh yes. Hold on. man, come on. Here we go. U.S. Army running out of bombs. The U.S. Army running out of bombs. Oh my gosh. All right. I don't think they have it on here. Damn it. At any rate. Oh, I know what I could do. At any rate, basically what's happening here is we have a situation where we've been at war for so long. And is this what the fuck?
Now, whether you think there's going to be some kind of an economic meltdown or not, see, the thing is, nature doesn't care who's in control of the government. So Sandy came along. We're 11 days past Sandy as we do this, and there are still people without food, water, and electricity. So you need to be ready for any circumstance like that. And I'm going to tell you what you can do today to be ready for it.
Oh, no, you will not. Now, look, this guy here, he's preparing. Now, of course, this is during Sandy, the storm out there. But the important thing is this guy here, all right? He's preparing. He's preparing his family and himself for the things coming down the pipe. Now, I'm going to be the first one to tell you. You're probably not going to have to worry about economic collapse. You're probably not going to even have to worry about an invasion of the American homeland. But one thing you might want to be concerned about is social breakdown because of an EMP pulse, social breakdown because of a virus being released, social breakdown because the people are divided. Now, here in America, you know, we got people like this here. Hold on. Oh, no. We got people like this here. And I'm going to punch him up real quick. That's running around here fucking just doing all this crazy shit, getting people scared. Hold on. Well, as soon as we plug this up, you know who I'm talking about.
Right, just like they obey the drug laws,
not
just like they obey all the laws that are already on the books. Yeah, I'm sure the criminals aren't going to turn their guns in there as well. No, of course they're not. So all the law.
Oh, shut up! That guy's so fucking annoying. I wish they had his fat faggot fucking boss on there, old Alex Jones. The reason why I bring Jones up is because he's by far the most prolific. I call it Chicken Little out there. You know, the sky's falling, emergency transmissions, blah, 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 blah. All right? The important thing to remember about these guys are that basically they don't understand black folks and our issues. You know, they're always talking about the war, you know, the New World Order, the New World Order. Oh. Well, as a black man or woman, we've already been underneath the New World Order for a very, very long time now. All right? Talking about rights being taken away and all this and all that. That's nonsense, folks. You got to understand. This clown Infowar, what their little mantra or slogan is, let's turn this back to 1776. Let's turn it back. 1776. What melanated person in the right mind wants to go back to 1776? Seriously. You know, I'm not trying to make this just a black or white thing. Okay, I'm really not. But sometimes we need clarity on these things so we understand where we're all at. As hard as these clowns try, all they want to do is keep the standard white superiority, fucking supremacy bullshit rolling in their favor indefinitely. What's scaring these guys are that sisters and brothers are actually coming together and getting knowledge and getting wisdom and doing things that's important. Of course, do we have an economic base? Not yet, but we're working on it. Do we have a standing army? No. But that too we're also working on. Listen, we've said this on this show many a times. No one respects them on their knees. They don't. And if you don't get off your fucking knees, they're going to have their way with you. hard. And you won't even get the benefit of lube. You know, a special report here. We're really changing the directions. You know, I got some guests coming up. Well, not today, but I have them coming up in the next few weeks. And these guests will be like unlike any other guests we've had on the show so far. Some of them will be considered radical. Some of them will be considered revolutionary. And some of them, quite frankly, will be considered quite terrifying. These men and women have knowledge, and they have some of the answers that we so desperately need. Listen, I was doing some research prior to the show because I really didn't know what I was going to talk about today. So I went on Netflix and I looked at a couple of like their TV series. You know, I looked at one. I was just scrolling through the situation. It was called Shameless. Okay, in a lot of respects, it's an honest depiction of current American working class families. Dysfunctional, fucked up on drugs, sexually promiscuous, lacking honor and integrity. You know, the typical stuff you expect to see from savages. Then I looked at this other one called Dear White People, about some bourgeois college chick, has a little radio show, basically pro-black, blah, blah, blah. But then, you know, she's like basically the new black female trope. You know, they're strong, they're independent, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, they offer no solutions. The solution to the situation, if you're melanated, it's economic independence. That is the solution. That's the only thing that matters. Liberation will come once you have enough money to do a couple of things. If you don't have the money, well, then how can you do it? Just like these clowns right here. They'll tell you all day that in the New World Order, New World Order, New World Order. But on the flip side, they're like, buy our little products, buy our books and tapes, buy our DVDs, you see. These folks understand without money, you don't have a movement. And it's funny that a lot of our movements, you got to really look at who's funding them to understand what the hell. I mean, think about it. If things were reversed, truly, if things were reversed, and just because your skin is darker than the next person, you get all these unfair advantages and privileges, what would become of you? Would you really fund somebody trying to change that and take away the privileges that you enjoy? Truly? And I think if you're honest with yourself, you would say no. No, I wouldn't fund that. But then I ask you, brothers and sisters, and children, why do you expect the dominant class now to somehow fund your liberation? Why? What would be in it for them? Oh, they'll feel better? Please. Judge Joe Brown already told us, you know, people talking about Martin Luther King and all that. You know, what good is it that you got to sit there and get your ass kicked until the person kicking your ass starts feeling guilty about kicking your ass? Because I tell you, some of these motherfuckers have no sympathy. They have no emotions. They'll kick your ass from here until Christ comes back. That might be a very long time. And speaking of that, hold on. Let's do something here real quick. Let's go. Hold on. More people die in Israel's protest. Okay, I guess I have to be fucking specific rather. Okay. Come on. God. People are dying in Gaza Strip. More people are dying in Gaza Strip protesting Israel. Let's see what this is. This might be something.
I think 3,000 years is long enough to wait to recognize this axiomatic and basic truth of where Israel's capital is. I ask you, where is Israel's capital if not Jerusalem? Why should we wait to state the simple fact of where our capital is?
For one, dude, 3,000 years ago, motherfucker, you wasn't even an Israelite. Now let's be real. This guy was not an Israelite 3,000 years ago. You know what he was. You know what he was. Captain Caveman. Johnny come lately here. Let's listen to more of this.
Well, let's turn to how this event has passed off now, particularly in Gaza. Dozens of people dead, more than 2,000 wounded. Mm-hmm. This was excessive force.
2,000.
No, it wasn't excessive force because what Israel was facing was an onslaught of thousands of people gathering at its border, shooting guns and placing IEDs and lobbing Molotov cocktails, all with the express purpose of killing Israelis and destroying Israel.
Okay. This is what I'm talking about. You have a situation where in 1948, the United Nations, or the League of Nations, however you want to call it, decided to take some people's land and throw these suspicious Jews from Europe on said land, approximately 70 years ago. They had the blessing of the evangelicals. Oh, the prophecy is being fulfilled. Oh, wrong. The prophecy said God would bring the people back. It did not say the United Nations would, unless you consider the United Nations God. Very unpopular. Very unpopular. Because the next question is this. Do the people of South Africa have to wait 3,000 years to get their land back? Do the Native Americans, the indigenous people of America, have to wait 3,000 years to get their land back? Oh, they don't matter because they don't have a religious prophecy pertaining to them? What's going on, folks? What's going on? Let's listen to more. This is really tragic.
That's what the Hamas terrorist organization was chanting. Well, that's exactly what they were saying, that we are going to kill every Jew. Those aren't my words, those are the precise words.
How many Israeli soldiers or police were actually wounded or killed?
Well, I don't know what the premise of that question is, that it would be better if more of them were killed. I think it's enough.
No,
I don't think any were killed.
The premise is we're trying to gauge what the level of threat was to your people and therefore whether the use was proportionate. That the figure we've heard from the IDF spokesman is that one soldier was lightly wounded on your side. So if there were people shooting, there can't have been many, and it can't have been that much of a threat to justify killing more than 50 people and wounding 2,000.
Well, let's talk about the scope of the threat. Israel has received a barrage.
Let's talk about the reality of the deal. Let's say this is what really happened after World War II. The United Nations, which was basically subverted racist organization back in the day. We all know this. It was populated with old, rich, white males, pretty much as it is today, with a sprinkling of some browns and women. All right? How do we know the so-called Jews that we are calling Jews today are not indeed Nazi SS men, Nazi party members, and other Nazi scumbags that actually pretend that they're Jews to escape Germany after World War II? Because this situation here, I'm going to put up another video, I'll try to find it, where they're talking to true Jews, true Semitic Jews, genetically related to the folks spoken of in the Bible, and they can't even get proper rent or place to stay at with these people because of the fact that these guys are racist as hell. Racist as hell.
In past years of tens of thousands of missiles, Hamas has dug terror tunnels underneath Israel to try to kill civilians. Had the soldiers not stopped this attempted mass infiltration by a terrorist organization that openly preaches for genocide of every Jew, then the families that were right behind those soldiers, living a few football fields away, could have experienced a mass slaughter. And that's exactly what we prevented from happening.
But look, it's a situation that the IDF, the Israeli military, has a lot of experience in that very place. It's been a weekly thing now for some weeks to have these very large demonstrations. They must have considered the possibility that thousands of people might try and rush the fence. Why weren't there water cannon, other non-lethal weapons that could be used
water cannons
to
in the
allow you
desert?
to stop civilians doing that?
Well, of course we tried that, but if you were sitting at home eating a meal with your family, trying to protect your family, and if you had a fence outside of your house, and on the other side of that fence were mass murdering terrorists that were carrying knives and shooting guns and placing bombs and saying, as soon as we get over this fence, we're going to slaughter your family, you might take every measure necessary in order to protect your family. And that's exactly what Israel did.
If we look at the reaction from the German Foreign Ministry, UK Foreign Ministry, they all accept your right to defend your border and to defend your people. The only issue, and the really salient issue, is whether proportionate force was used. Now, you mention whether or not it was a deliberate tactic by Hamas to use civilians. Once again, that must be a thing, if what you say is right,
that guy right
that
there,
the Israeli military is used to dealing with.
He might as well have horns
just
coming out of his head.
The exact results, which if they were adopting that strategy, they would.
He just got finished saying that Israel was basically shooting all these people to avoid a slaughter. My question is, he doesn't even recognize Palestinians people. He takes no account for the 52 dead and 2,000 wounded. That's a slaughter, my friend. That's a slaughter in anybody's book. Oh, and their casualty. One soldier. Lightly hurt. So if they wipe out 2,000 people, put them in the hospital, and put 52 in the grave for just one soldier getting lightly hurt, what do you think they'll do if one soldier gets killed? And don't forget, this little nation here has nuclear missiles, nuclear capability. And no one even bats an eye. Oh, well, and they're sitting here just pummeling people. Let's continue.
Have wanted, which is dozens of dead people.
Look, it's a very difficult situation, admittedly. The headquarters of Hamas in the last war was the Shifa hospital. The interior minister, of Hamas said that women and children excel at being human shields. It's exceedingly difficult when people are shooting behind children not to wound anybody who's innocent. That is the dilemma that we face on a daily basis.
Well, let's talk about where this goes from here, because we both know in these situations there are funerals the following day, emotions run high, and it generates the desire for more violence. How are you going to try and stop this turning into a major...
He's not. Let's quit bullshit. That guy don't give a fuck. He wants all Muslims dead. Let's just be real. They want them all dead because oh shit. Now these are the protesters. This is the people protesting.
The violence in Gaza today didn't stop the big show in Jerusalem from going ahead. Visiting dignitaries and Israeli VIPs gathered for the official dedication of what is now the U.S. Embassy.
Look at them. Do any of these folks look like real Israelites?
You're not?
Hold on, stop. Not Mr. Orange Head there, but does anybody that they showed on that damn stage look like a true Israelite? And let's be honest once again. True Israelites of the Bible look like me, folks. Bottom line, they look like me. Nappy hair. Brown skin, beautiful, I might add. They look like me. But now, after 3,000 years, they look like Mr. Orange Man. Let's
The United
continue.
States will always be a great friend of Israel and a partner in the cause of freedom and peace.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu returned to the conference.
God bless the United States of America, and God bless Jerusalem, the eternal, undivided capital of Israel.
At a press conference earlier in the day, visiting U.S. senators applauded Trump for keeping a promise that Congress made in 1995.
A promise they made in Well, what was happening in America in 1995? Oh, wasn't Bill Clinton getting his dick sucked by Monica Lewinsky? So we have to honor those promises. Promises made, promises kept. You know, I'm so sick of this bullshit. I'm so sick of these lies. You know, all these people pretending to be divine, inspired. But in reality, they're deprived and sick. And let me explain why they're sick. They steal the identity of people who have been scattered amongst the peoples of the earth. They steal land from people who've been living there for hundreds, if not thousands of years prior to them and their tanks rolling in. But the most devastating thing they do is they rob people of truth and joy by knowing reality and not some lies, but stories. We gotta wake up, folks, because these folks here, these cats, they got an agenda, and they're running their agenda flawlessly.
Vice founder Shane Smith covered the event.
If this has been on the books for 20 years, why do it today?
Well, I think President Trump did it because they promised to do it, and he said, what's the big deal? He was literally surprised that people would be taking this as a big deal. Everybody before him, including Obama, says, you know, Jerusalem's the capital of Israel. He has a new way about him. He's not stuck into the swamp, I guess, for lack of a better word.
No, he's stuck in Netanyahu's asshole. You know, it's like he's shitting out a fucking orange turd.
He just did it because it made sense.
Asked about the embassy move leading to violence, Graham said that's just the cost of doing business.
If you're waiting to do something bold in the Mideast without conflict, you will die waiting.
So you have snipers around here?
Yeah, we have snipers on a number of rooftops overlooking the American embassy. That's being coordinated with the American security services.
So we have
snipers, so we have tax dollars. Our snipers are sniping fucking Palestinians. Fucking bullshit is what it is. You know, you want to talk about tax dollars being wasted. Well, here you go, folks. There's a big promise being kept right there. Oh, jeez.
Secret Service scenario, we've got cops, people are cordoned off, security, but we have protesters here and protesters there. So those are pro-embassy protesters and those are anti-embassy protesters.
That's correct. Let's go and see what's going on here.
Once again, pay attention to the perceived ethnicity of these people. I mean, you think Jesus really looked like this guy? You think Abraham looked like that guy? Noah might look like this cat? You really believe that? King David looks like this clown over here, did he? But see, when I say the truth, it's so unpopular. You know? I don't see one black face in there. Not one. But yet these are the people that is... You know, why don't we just say that this is a Cherokee fucking nation here? And they're fighting for fucking Oklahoma. Because they look like the same fucking fucks. Doing the same shit. You know, I'm not being mean-spirited here. I'm not being, you know, blah, blah, blah. What I want to say is, unless we come to this understanding, unless we come to this point of true reconciliation, in the stupid-ass deceit bullshit, and in the lies, and more importantly, in the murder. Because I hate to tell you folks, if you're killing people over stolen land, you're not defending your land, you're just committing murder. You're killing people to ensure that they can never come up. You're harming people because you yourself are evil. Let's continue with more of this fucking Zionist propaganda bullshit.
So where we are right now is we're having pro-demonstration for the American embassy opening. We're bonded together the way it should be in the Middle East.
I'm sorry, I just can't. Once again, this guy, he looks like he could have been running fucking an SS fucking deadhead unit or fucking a guard at Auschwitz. That guy right there. I don't see nothing divine, cosmically inspired. You know, the reality is this, guys. That man can never produce me. But I can produce that man, given enough time and selective breathing. I feel like it's falling on deaf ears. Let's continue.
Democratic countries, two democracies together.
Fucking little hats.
We're celebrating here at the moment. I am here as a Canadian Donald Trump. The world has been fabricating history for so long about Jerusalem, a 3,000-year-old Jewish city.
Now, who's this? Seth Rogen? I'm just joking. But it looks like the fucker. All he needs is a blunt sticking out of his mouth and he'll be just fine. Look, folks. What I want to tell you tonight. You can keep on rolling with this bullshit and keep allowing people to get murdered and killed. Or else you can get with it. You can be like, these people have no fucking claim to that land. They have just as much claim to that land as they have claim to your personal home, your automobile, your clothes on your fucking back. In order for them to possess those items, they would have to steal it just like they stole this fucking land right here. And I know a lot of my Christian friends will be like, oh my God, what the fuck? What the fuck is truth, folks? It's true. It's okay to believe in deities. It's okay to believe in God. It's okay to believe in whatever you need to believe in. To get you through the day, to get your mind right, get your heart feeling good. No problem. The problem comes in when you take your little fucking fairy tales and you start fucking killing people and fucking taking over shit. That's the fucking problem. Let's continue.
Capital City of Israel, trying to give it to someone else who never had any hold on it. I want to say thank you to Donald Trump for simply telling the truth.
And what truth did Donald Trump say? What truth? Because all I'm seeing here is a bunch of fucking lies. Quite frankly. A bunch of lies. Ugh.
We are demonstrating against the provocation and the adaptation of the...
You know, once again, the fucks can't even speak. You know, but look at this fuck. You know, once again, asking Nazis. You know, fucking Jews. Oh, Jesus. You know, I don't even know why I'm saying that word because there wasn't even a J in ancient Hebrew fucking vocabulary. Or Joshua-ish, whatever. But this is where we're at, folks. You know, this is where we're at.
President to the occupation narrative. Jerusalem East is occupied. It should be the capital of Palestine.
What will be the effect of this embassy opening in the region?
We are seeing the massacre in Gaza, and Mr. Trump is losing.
Jesus. So, you know, we're here in Africa because Israel's located in Africa. And what we got here is a bunch of Europeans dominating the region. Typical colonization, colonialism. You know, dominating the people, dominating the media, dominating the religions. That means they're dominating people's souls in many respects. And no one's saying nothing. I mean, I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 heads and not one nap. 13 faces. No melanination. But yet this is supposed to be in the middle of the desert. I wish each and every one of these cats would take a what's that, a DNA test. Take a DNA test, see where the fuck they're really from, and see if they really have any genetic business being in Israel. You know, once again, it's like thievery is a part of these people's condition. They steal land. They steal people's identity. On a national level, they steal fucking resources. And also, they steal minds. Because if you're believing this garbage here, man, you're lost.
Mr. Trump is losing his mood. He's broken. He has never been, but it's a provocation.
Now, let's look at this one here.
Our correspondent Faraz Kilani is in Gaza. Faraz, just what's the latest on the ground where you are now?
And this is also one thing I also want to point out. You notice, this brother's really not going bald. He's really not. He's just shaved like that because naps are unpopular. It's sort of like if you walk around people and you have nappy hair on, suddenly they get all crazy, start acting strange. And I want you guys to start noticing this. Start noticing these little details. You know how you very seldom see, you know, beautiful black women with natural hair. It has to be straight. Cats have to fucking be bald. You know, can't have none of this. You know, fuck, if you're old and you don't have no bald spots, be happy that you have fucking hair. Let these people get in your fucking minds. Let's continue this bullshit.
Actually, it was a very bloody day, as Richard said in the piece. Now it's confirmed 52 Palestinians killed by Israeli fire while they were trying to cross this fence here, the bordering fence with Israel. All the day, the demonstrations, thousands of Palestinians were demonstrating against Trump's decision to move the U.S. embassy.
Sorry, I can't understand this fuck. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and, you know, we're going to hear babble. I can say, fuck. Let's find another show. Because I really want to get this hit home, man. I really want to get this to hit home. Because what's happening over here can very well happen right here as well.
Gaza health authorities say at least 55 Palestinians died Monday during mass protests as the U.S. officially opened its new embassy in Jerusalem. Demonstrators condemned the United States' decision.
So do you think that those people could have been part of a sacrifice? Seriously? You know, this move has been ordained in blood. But let's look at this jet dropping shit on these folks.
To recognize Jerusalem as the Israeli capital, Palestinian protesters in Gaza set fires and threw firebombs across the border into Israel. Israeli troops fired on the demonstrators in an act that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu called self-defense. Holly Williams has more.
They were angry today in Gaza about the new U.S. embassy. Men and women threw rocks. And while many protesters were peaceful, some started fires along the border fence with Israel. They've been demonstrating here for 6 weeks now, 40,000 of them today, according to Israel, encouraged by Hamas, the militant group that's controlled the Gaza Strip since 2007.
Now, you saw old boy up there with a sling, right? Guess what? That's a weapon that they would have had about 3,000 years ago. You know, it's pretty sad. You see these folks up here. You know, I did not see one with a gun, like the one guy said. You know, you think they're all fucking armed to the teeth. You'll see a gun or two. I mean, you look at some of these open carry protests down in Texas, everybody and their mom is carrying a fucking weapon. But these guys are literally carrying fucking sticks and stones and tires to set fire, blah, blah, blah. I think that we are in a situation where no matter how much we want to claim we don't believe this, we actually do. The more power you have, the more righteous you are. The more murder and mayhem you can evoke, the more you're feared and the more you're respected. That being said, why are the Palestinians not receiving any respect? Because they have no technology. They have no missiles. They have no submarines. They have no nukes. The only thing they have is anger, passion. But at the end of the day, that's not enough to cut it, guys. That's not enough to cut it. So, with that being said, let me segue into this. If you want to protect your family, you better get a firearm, and a lot of them. If you want to survive what's coming down the way, you're going to need iodine. You're going to need some sort of bleach tabs. You need to stock up on alcohol, peroxide, bandages, any antibiotics. Even if they're out of date, I recommend you keep them. And you also are going to need seed and some sort of water purification system. Now, a lot of people will say, to get those life straws, which is cool, but they do run out. I suggest you get an old tea kettle. You get a piece of metal pipe that fits onto that tea kettle spout. You'll get another roasting pan or something that you'll run that metal pipe, hopefully copper pipe that you can get. You coil it up and you'll put that in like cool water. So as you're heating the water in the tea kettle, the steam's going up. All right, it'll go up, it'll go into the pipe, it'll go into where you have the pipe in the water, and then you'll have it come out with a spout. It'll cool down in here, and it'll come dripping out. All right, because you should have if the bucket, like this is a bucket right here, you have the metal pipe coming in and down, cooling around in the bucket, and then out the bottom of the bucket, you have the out spigot, so the water, the steam will cool off into water and come dripping out. You can drink that, and that will provide you with an endless supply of clean drinking water, as long as you have a supply of water to actually, boil, whether it be a stream, a river, a creek, a stagnated pond. For those who are living out in the country, you might even want to take a look in your cesspool, because you could actually boil that water and make it drinkable. So the biggest obstacles that you're going to have in the up and coming years will be protecting your DNA from radiation fallout. It's going to be maintaining some sort of a sense of safety. If you need to practice with your firearm, I would recommend you do that now until after the event, because once it happens, it's over. I wouldn't recommend taking your gun out for pop shots. You only use it to kill or to defend yourself, rather. And then you're also going to need food, which hopefully, you should know any animals on the land you eat is going to make you sick, because they're more than likely to be infected with radiation. So therefore, what should you do? What should you do? That will last for at least 9 months. At the end of 9 months, radiation levels should start to taper off, and it'll be fine. Next week, I will show you the bunker that we have here at the other morning show. It was hand dug. We just went in there and just started doing it. It's enough for everybody to get down in there and hunker down. We got plenty of storage space for our gear. But unless you get up and take the initiative, you're going to end up being a victim. Just like the people who suffered in Hurricane Katrina and the people who are suffering in Puerto Rico right now. Folks, the government has no love for you. If you think they do, you're sadly mistaken. So, with that being said, this has been Special Report. I'm your host, Truepowerismine. Sorry for the depressing topic today. Really not an upbeat show as I wanted it to be. But you cannot talk about lies and deception with a smile and enthusiasm. Because unfortunately, I know a lot of people will die behind this nonsense before it's all said and done. I just want to leave you all with this. There's only one race on this planet. It's called the human race. People who subscribe to sub-racial categories deny their true human family. Even these fools, the so-called Jews. Because don't forget, you cannot be racist against a Jew, but the Jew can be racist against you. All day long. And the funny thing about these so-called Jews, they look more like Adolf Hitler and David Duke than they look like Malcolm X or Minister Farrakhan. That's the bottom line. And the true Jews that were spoken of in the Bible, absolutely look like Minister Farrakhan. And they look like Martin Luther King. They look like Booker T. Washington. And they also look like Mark from Anaheim. But you won't ever get that from here. Thank you, folks. That's been Special Report.